Hello, everyone. Well, hope everyone is getting ready for the July 4th weekend. So, self care is so important for anyone out there. Well, our focus is, as everyone knows, on women's wellness. So, I have Ananda with me. She is a coach and artist, and she's going to introduce herself. That how self care mindfulness can be for everyone. Welcome, Ananda, for joining me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Amita, and thank you, everybody with the Nourish community. My name is Ananda Leeke. I am a thriving mindfully coach, an author, an artist, and a human design doula, all of that. I discovered mindfulness and self-care when my career as a young lawyer and an investment banker in digital communications professional did not produce the success that I was conditioned to believe I deserved. Anybody can feel me? What happened to me was I started getting panic attacks, and I was going through a lot of changes in my career. And so I ended up getting therapy. And during the therapy process, my therapist recommended, strongly urged, basically told me that either you try meditation or the next step will be medication. Now, let me say this, medication is fine. Whatever works best for you, you do what works best for your body. For me, I tried meditation, and with that, opened the door to a whole new world, a world where I was able to discover I had a birthright to mindfulness and to self-care. And so roll forward a couple years, I saw how much the meditation impacted me because it opened the door to yoga, it opened the door to Reiki, it opened the door to me going to sound healing and so forth and so on. You know, once you open one door in holistic health, a lot of times the doors just keep opening. So I noticed that these were modalities that were working for me, and I decided to study it. And I was blessed to be able to get certified as a yoga teacher, a mindfulness teacher, a sound healing practitioner, a Reiki practitioner, and so on and so on. I've written a couple books. I have worked in a hospital setting with folks as an artist in residence and been able to use my healing gifts. And so today I wanted to give you 3 tips that you can take and use at any point in your life. So let's first start with a mindful moment that allows us to make our breath our BFF. Take one moment to get situated. Come into a posture that works for you, whether you are seated, standing, or laying down. And I did say lay down, so you can lay down if you like. Don't worry if you're sitting up or not. Just allow the body to be. If it feels good to close the eyes, go ahead and close your eyes. If you want to keep the eyes open and it feels good, lower your gaze. And then taking a moment to rest your hands on or near your body. Bringing one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. Noticing the heartbeat. This heart center is where we can be vulnerable with ourselves. And then joining me in taking 3 big breaths in and I'll guide us. Inhale deeply through the nose, and then exhale with a sigh. Just be still for just a moment. We get 1,440 minutes each and every day. So we have at least a minute to breathe, baby, because with the breath, you open the door to what? Your birthright of mindfulness and your birthright to self-care. Self-care begins with the breath because it's free. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So on the next breath, I want you to notice how the belly feels as you are inhaling. Inhale deeply, hold the breath, and notice how the belly feels. And then slowly exhale through your mouth, making a inhale one last time. Hold the breath, and on the next Exhale, smile softly. Release the hands from the body. So mindfulness is this ability to be aware of what's happening in the present moment, what's happening inside and outside of yourself. When we breathe deeply, we are practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness becomes a practice when you choose to use your birthright. And guess what? You're going to get distracted when you're using your birthright of mindfulness because you're a human being, not a doing, not a human doing. And it's normal and it's natural to get distracted. So when you do get distracted, use the breath as an anchor, a simple inhale and an exhale. So we did the breath. You can have a mindful moment any point in time. You just breathe deeply. Maybe you do that before you get out of bed. 3 deep breaths, or maybe 1 breath. Maybe it's before you sip your tea or your coffee, before you brush your teeth, before you get dressed. Maybe it's in the shower. You get what I'm talking about. 1 breath, y'all, 1 breath. You get 1 minute to practice out of the 1,440 minutes you get every day. That's all I'm asking you to do, is to try a 1 minute practice. You'll notice that it takes less than 1 minute to breathe deeply one time. So maybe you'll be an overachiever and you'll breathe 5 to 7 times. Who knows? So let's move into self-care, because the breath is connected to our ability to practice our birthright of self-care. Self-care is a phrase that we've heard throughout these last several years, especially with the pandemic. It means different things. I want to encourage you to define self-care for yourself. The way that I define self-care in my work as the president and CEO of Ananda Leeke Consulting, a wellness company that powers the Thriving Mindfully Academy, we say that self-care is the act of nurturing your spirit, your heart, your mind, your body in uplifting ways. So it's nurturing yourself in an uplifting way. For me today, self-care is wearing my amethyst, my crystals, put on some purple lipstick, put on one of my favorite shirts. That's a form of my self-care because the colors, the jewelry uplift me. I had a walk this morning. That's the way I take care of myself. I made some split pea soup. That's a way that I take care of myself. So there's so many different ways to look at self-care. It becomes mindful when you become aware of what you need in that moment, in that day. Mindful self-care. So let's practice some mindful self-care. We're going to take a deep breath in and then out. The yoga teacher in me is going to throw some yoga in here. So as you inhale, and if you're able to, take a deep breath in, bring the arms all the way out, making a T. Take a deep breath and then exhale. 1 more deep breath. And as you exhale, give yourself a nice juicy hug. Anytime we hug ourselves or touch ourselves for 20 seconds or more, we're activating what I like to call your super self-care hormones. The hormone of oxytocin, the love hormone, and the feel-good hormone, serotonin. And together, they work to reduce the stress hormone of cortisol in the body. I've read that it takes 4 hugs to make us feel decent, 8 hugs just to sustain ourselves, and 12 hugs to really feel exceptional. I learned all of this during the first 2 weeks of the pandemic in March 2020 because I'm a hugger, and I didn't think I was going to make it without getting the hugs. So I did a lot of research, and now hugging is an active part of my self-care practice. So let's take a deep breath in and then out. releasing yourself from the hug only if you want to. You may want to just continue to hug yourself. So we talked about the breath. We talked about a hug that you can do in a minute or less, because that's only 20 seconds. You can breathe as you hug yourself. And then the final tip that I wanted to leave you with is setting an intention. Setting an intention is a statement about how you want to show up in the day, the moment, in an experience that you're having, in a conversation. And it is simply, I am peaceful, I am loving, I am aware, I am awake, whatever it is that you want it to be. It can become an affirmation for you or a mantra. I know for me today, it was, I am aware. I am aware. I wanted to focus on awareness. So let's take a deep breath in and then out. Take 2 more deep breaths at your own pace. And then begin to set an intention for how you want to move through the rest of your day and your week and into the new month, July, or whenever you're watching this, whatever month is next. So before I let you go, I wanted to read a poem that will remind you of your birthrights, mindful self-care. It's called Present Moment Acceptance. It's just a short excerpt. It's from my book, That Which Awakens Me, a mindful creativity memoir. So this is present moment acceptance. All I can be is here right now, present, still, grounding myself in Mother Earth, knowing that all the stuff that clamors for my attention is just stuff. That's it, just stuff that can be paused for a moment with a deep breath. So I breathe freely and release. I breathe freely and release. I breathe freely and release. I want to thank you for joining us today on Nourish Doc. Take advantage of all the resources that we have here. If you'd like to reach out to me, go to anandaleeke.com. You can follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube at Ananda Leeke. Take care, and thank you, Amita and the Nourish Doc community, for all you are and all you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. To everyone, have a great July 4th. I know everybody's getting ready and there's Eid also that's happening for all our Muslim friends. Keep plugging in to us. We are bringing programs for women wellness, specifically women going through perimenopause, menopause, and beyond. But today's session was for everyone. So thank you so much, Ananda, for joining me.
All right. Y'all saw me try to take a picture too.
Oh, thank you. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.